Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. Hey, cows are milked. Finishing feeding them right now. Manure's been hauled. Today's the day we're pulling that silo loader in. Daryl from Tri-State Silo is on his way. That's our silo man. He's built most of these silos. We're gonna pull that up by a rope and get the unloader in there. And then he's gonna assemble it. I'll probably go up there when he's about got it assembled. I got some other things to do, we gotta do today, but get up there and make sure it's gonna feed out. The first silo full of corn, I'll show you that in a second. Feeding out of that right now as we speak. And that way, at the end of this video, hopefully I got both my corn silos going. I had to add on to my chute. This is an old soap jug, bolted it right on. And there's, she's low clearance there, but that way, because I had some bouncing out. It was way up here. We want to keep it in the bunk. Doors are looking good, so he just pulled in. Let's get out there. Let's go. Blower. That's what's left. Don't look too bad. Except this girl. That'll be last. Sending the hook back down.
At 2480, the cable jumped to the pulley on top and had changed the pulley. So I had the crane come.
Drive shaft, another bull wheel. New safety shields. Half the frame. Other half. They're having a nice time. We've got Lonnie here. We're gonna put this motor up. Let me help you with that. Got it? Oh yeah. Flipping.
Are those ends good on that battery, Daryl? The ends, they go in the collector and check those ends right there.
Bringing that hook back down. A little side-by-side action. Tied off, double pulley action. And we're gonna see what happens. Couple more feet. Back. What? We're ready.
Oh,
Double foot it. One on the brake, one on the gas. There you go.
Okay.
Stay clear. Turn that pulley a little.
There, you got it.
I usually put that clevis to that so it can't come on both.
Whoa! He's got it. He cherry picked it right in there. He's gonna lower it right in. Okay. Back up. Back up, boys.
Hold on.
Last pull, couple weights, a little bit of hardware. Loader's in. Didn't have to take the roof off. And we'll let them assemble it. Hopefully we're feeding out of it in a couple hours. I'm gonna go on our silo trailer, and I think I'm gonna have to get a new chute when that feed comes out, because that other one don't look like it's gonna work. And we're in, and this trailer needs to be organized a little bit better. There's a new set of augers with, those are extremely sharp blades, some cable, extra blowers and motors. We've gotta get this organized. This is an extra chute, but a spout to blow the feed out. But yeah, here's snouts off a combine. Ford, it's a Ford tailgate. This little guy is what I was looking for. We'll go see what we can do to make this work. Here's the old one. Here's that. They both gotta work. That looks like that's gonna work. Got the perfect pitch to it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that angle. Perfect. And that's how that works. Got some extra corn on this wagon. Filling that silo, that first silo. We'll run it off to these heifers. They'll appreciate that greatly. Check them out. Oh yeah, these are the girls right outside my house. They come up right behind my house there, and we check in on them. Just a very friendly one. I think Grant fed that one an apple. I remember her face. Some of you guys that don't farm might think, how do you remember their face? But there's 4 right here in a row with a white blaze, that's called. Actually 5. She's got a thick one. There's a black head, white head. And that's got the triangle, white blaze, triangle, all black, almost all black, triangle. And then you come to these two, they're just extremely unique for us, so that's how you can tell them apart. Down at the dry cow lot, I actually filled this yesterday, and she's brimming full, but like I said, it'll settle a little bit, so I'm gonna put the rest of this in there and put a little bit of this load in there. Lonnie's gonna scrape in between these bunks, and we're gonna put the rest. Once it gets down a little bit, I'm gonna pull it around and feed along the bunk for their feed for the day until we get this going, probably tomorrow or the next day. You let it settle a couple days and you'll punch 3-4 more loads in it. PTO. be with you guys in a second. I'm gonna fill it up for you. That's good. We'll loop around. How we doing now, girls? Good. See what'll fit. Probably at least one. Not a friendly one. Normally they won't let you touch their head. They're quick. Guys back up here. Rain just moved in. Silo guys are bringing their stuff down. You know they're close. The center pulley is what happened. That thing broke. That broke. And so they had to replace the center pulley on the tripod and this pulley, and then they got the cable down. And we're gonna have to wrap this all in there so we can try to feed out of it. I'm gonna have to go back up in there myself, but meanwhile we're fighting the showers. Bringing in that motor. And just like that, Daryl took off. He says it's ready. We're gonna go check that out in a minute, but we've got the new cable that we've got to wind around here. And this is no fun project, but once we get this done, we're gonna go in, pull the power cord up and test it, but let's see what happens. And we're going, and I'm holding this motor with my right arm. That belt got a little cattywampus on us. Lonnie's lining her up for us. This is a pain in the butt. You only have to do this on each silo probably once in a lifetime, because that old cable was probably 40, 50 years old. Daryl sent us down a souvenir. I'll show you when we get done with this. The pulley in the tripod that snapped. All right, folks, that went surprisingly well. That's probably our best wrap job. We've put new cables on a lot of these, and we've got some experience. So here's that center pulley. The center gave out, and then the cable ripped off and snapped this outer edge, and that's what sheared the cable last spring. So we're gonna keep that as a souvenir. I'm gonna head up see how it looks, see what's going on. And I'm gonna, oh, I gotta bring that rope up, and I'll send it down, and I'll pull that cord up, and we'll see if we can't get it fed. Hopefully everything looks right. Daryl and the son got out of here. They had to get going, and the rest's on you. They can get you there, but you gotta finish. Okay. And we're up. She's about 2 foot down. I got her hanging in the air. And yeah, let's get in there. And we're in. I'm just checking over some of his work. He had looks like he had a door it was sitting on. Looks pretty decent. He put these pans on. That'll help some of the feed from blowing all over, and it landed on this motor. Looks like he used all new bolts, bolt this blower in. And this is where she's gonna fly out of. Okay. Well, why don't I drop this rope down and I'll pull that cord up. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys, cord's up. All right, I got the cord hung. I'll plug this in. Okay. Set that up like that. Lonnie letting us down. That's good. We'll turn her on and see how she looks.
Just one or both of them?
Just one. We'll see what it does. This belt was really wasn't tight enough. Try her again. There she goes. Banging on the silo. Looks like I got them set pretty good right now. I'll keep you posted. Starting to work now. I got a nice pie shape on this. That's what you want. Slide that back a little bit. Be able to come down soon. Just want to make sure it's working good a few times around. Wet out here. Watch it out here for a minute. This is what she looks like, finished product. I got both my corns back now. That's what I wanted. Move on to high moisture grain. See that last silo down there? That's just the ear. That's just the ear going in the silo. This is the whole stalk. Now I'm gonna hit this hay. See how it works together. Got a little drier as we put this up, but we knew we were gonna be working up there, so we didn't want it super green. because it can get pretty nasty up there when it's super wet like that. But I'm thinking the cows are going to get, Lonnie's got to go get ready to start milking. This has been quite the project, but you've seen it, it's working. That's what it looks like. What's this? That's how you let it down. You make it eat a little more. We got a double hay, got a hay and grain. See what they do. Hear that? They're just rumbling up there. Coming down now. Cows are lining up, just loving it. Hi, girls. How we doing? You've been waiting on this, haven't you? You've been waiting on this. That's a darn bulldozer right there. Look at the size of her. Look at the difference. Massive, massive animal. Hey, you're no slouch. These silos, as you can see, if you've been following me for a while, they are very labor intensive. And I'm going to start looking at maybe folk moving away from them in the next 1, 2, 3 to 5 years, because I had a dream about this last night. What's the goal of this farm? I'm a 3rd generation, is to get this farm to go on to a 4th generation. To get this to go on to a 4th generation, we're talking Lonnie, who's 22, and then our kids, which the next one's 16 and Nolan's 11. For that to happen, we've got to have to get away from these. They're just not sustainable for the next 20 years. It's, if you think about it, it's actually an accomplishment that we've outgrown the setup. We really have. As much as I like these silos and I've learned how to really make them work, I mean, you've seen that. There's an art to this, but I think we're gonna have to start piling the amount of cows that we're feeding. That's the plan. We're gonna go in here, but change the feeding system around, put in an updated milking parlor, start AIing, getting rid of all these bulls, and possibly putting in a manure storage pit. Those are some big projects, but that's the goal. We're gonna put the vision out there, lay the groundwork, and that's what's gonna keep this place going in another 20, 30, 40 years. All right, we're up. We're probably about 8 foot down already. And what happened was this bar's kind of pushed off. It's not hitting that hole properly, left the hole there. And she got stuck. She spun out because it's still pretty spongy up here. And this door was open. This is the way they designed some of these doors. They're just shut like that. They work until they rot out. Like, look at that one. That one's about shot. And when you do, you take this off and you'll just put a step on here and be done with it. But it was a good idea when they come up with it. So I'll take the power cord and I'll put it through that hole. I'll move this bar down in there. I'll probably shut this door back up and open up this one. Well, there you go. There you go. So routine maintenance, not bad, just up there. We're up there. Down there. Unstick these wheels. Very heavy. Okay, that's better. Everything looks good. See how open, right dead center that chute is? We'll climb out. We'll shut this on the way out. Hold this. This is from that cord we let down. My chute. year. Extremely wet year. Not just a wet fall. It's been a very wet year completely. Look at that come out. Look at her now, boys. Like you said, it works. There's no doubt about it. That's some good feed. Some of the freshest feed comes out of a silo. But in the end, I just think we've outgrown it. You know, God forbid something happens to me. They play hell getting her going. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just telling you, it just takes a lot of, took me my whole life to be able to operate these. It's time for a change. And change, most people don't like change, but change happens every day. This world's changing every day. We're gonna have to get with it because the future generation is gonna depend on it. Second cutting bale underneath this roof out of the rain for them to munch on, kind of what we do to supplement. I like putting dry hay in their stomachs. Look at this girl, she's about 5 months pregnant. But I heard a story of an old farmer one time and whose kids were he's probably dead and gone now, but his kids were about my dad's age. And he used to say quite arrogantly, something happens to me or when I'm done, these kids are in deep trouble. You know, they're not gonna know how to run the farm. And it's like that, to me, that is just complete idiotic. Unless the kids were complete screw-offs, which they weren't. That tells me you didn't do your job well enough teaching them and or getting them set up. Like that's gonna be my goal, my legacy is to get this completely changed over. So when it's time for me to call it quits, you don't even miss me. This place just boom, boom, keeps marching on and it doesn't miss a beat. That's the goal. And we're not there now. We're far from it. It's kind of scary to think about. But we will get there. It's just gonna take, if we stay on it, we could do it in 3 to 5 years. And then everybody will be on the same page. We gotta think long term. Because in 10 years, I told them, in 10 years, go by doing this, which very easily we could do that. I'm gonna be able to do this hopefully even longer, but if we don't make a change in 10 years, these silos are gonna be out of, you're gonna be like, I'm done climbing these. I can't, my body's wearing down. You're gonna just call it quits. I can tell. And I told, how fast is 10 years gonna go by? How fast? A blink of an eye. So if you don't do something now, you're setting yourself up for failure. And ultimately, we could keep farming. But what you're doing is you're screwing the younger generation where when you're milking cows, you can employ a whole lot more family members than if you were just crop farming. It's always been that way. It's a good life. So that's the goal. Get it set up. So maybe my boy someday can be farming with Lonnie. My boy will be 20, Lonnie will be 40 at that time. And I can go do whatever the heck I want. They're gonna want me out of here anyway. But you gotta get to that point. It's gonna be a big investment, but ultimately you're investing in your family when you do something like that. Well, on that note, I hope you liked the silo video, even though I'm telling you we're gonna be probably trying to get out of them sooner than later. It's not gonna happen overnight. But take care, see you in the next video. God bless.